Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we just finished receiving my quick shifter for the IS. It is from an FRS. Like, this is for an FRS, right? And one of the members in the forums of the IS 6-speed manual group, he has mentioned that this specific eBay shifter worked perfectly fine for him after modifying the shaft a little bit so that it could fit properly in the IS. We're gonna give it a shot, and then I'm gonna give you guys my review on if it fits perfectly, what type of modification we need to do to it so that it fits perfectly fine, what type of modification so that, you know, it fits. And yeah, so as you guys can see, the FRS shifter, right, has a slight curve to it. What he has mentioned is you're gonna want to grab like a blowtorch or something just so you can heat this little piece of metal up and just try to bend this back a little bit so it sits straight with the whole shaft, right? Because the IS is like that. This shifter costed me 82 bucks on eBay, and it looks, for 82 bucks, it doesn't look quite bad. So we're gonna give it a shot, and yeah, I'll give you guys my honest opinion. All right, so we should be ready to do the quick shifter install. It should be a very simple process. Shouldn't take no more than 30 to 40 minutes at most if you're new to this. My neighbor yesterday, he welded the shifter for me as straight as possible. I appreciate him so much. Awesome people. I just finished jacking on my car. I put 2 jacks on the side and 1 jack under the subframe in the front so that we have stability, and we can never be too sure, like too safe, So let's get to it. So our first step is remove the shifter itself, the knob as they call it. By the way, guys, if you guys are able to find a F-Sport shifter like for your IS, like, get it. It feels freaking amazing. I paid over for this because I don't like to wait. I paid the guy $220 plus my stock one. When brand new, they're $70. So yeah, these are getting very rare. They look amazing. It matches my steering wheel surprisingly, and it's weighted, and it's, again, amazing. All right. Oh shoot, what's that? Huh? LOL. Anyways, you're gonna want to pop this button up, and we should be able to remove this. Oh my god, give me 1 second. This shifter boot. There you go. I need a new one. Second step, you're gonna want to remove the collar that's holding this rubber boot right here. As you can see, there's 1 bolt right here, there's another one right here, there's another one right here, and another one right here. I don't know if you guys can see. Those are 10 mils. You're gonna want an extension, a 3/8 ratchet with a swivel, so that you can kind of like ease around that. To remove all this plastic right here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna open your cubby and you're just gonna pop this up. It's all clips, it should pop right out. Don't be scared of breaking nothing. Which I believe I did break something, but whatever.
Pop that in right there.
All right, since we have our centerpiece off, now we are able to remove this collar right here. The second shifter boot, you pull it right up, and you should find yourself with 4 bolts that hold basically the shifter together. Let's see if I can pull it up for you guys. Oh wow, a little rusty. I wonder why. And as you guys can see there, those are gonna be 10s if I'm not mistaken. Right there. You're underneath the car. You do not need to take out the exhaust. The only thing you're gonna have to take off, and I believe I'm just gonna remove it entirely just for like future stuff. These are 10s right here, and you're gonna remove, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there's 4. Once you remove this shield, you're able to put your hand and massage your hand and you know, to where the shifter point is at over there. I have both shifters here to compare. As you guys can see, the stock one, it has like a slight curve, so I don't know if this modification will affect that, you know, how it sits. And this is a lot shorter than the stock one. So this, I believe, when you're shifting it, it should come close, like it should be level with the, oh my god, the little cubby in the middle and the storage department. And by the way, when you're removing the stock shifter, you're gonna want to pull it up pretty hard, because you see this little clip right here. This is kind of like glued onto the tripod, but with force you just pull it right up, and don't be scared to break it, because you won't be needing this. So yeah, so this right here, this little black piece replaces this, so it's pretty cool. And let's get to that part. Let's get to it. Now I proceed to remove the 10 bolts from the linkage, and that should be it. All right, so I just finished removing the C clip, as you guys can see right there. I have it right here. Let me see if I found, okay, right there. As you guys can see that right there. Perfect. What actually I ended up doing was I basically grabbed this flathead and I pushed it outwards from the linkage, and it came right off. Now we are able to slide that piece off from the linkage and unbolt the 10 bolts up in the interior and the shifter. All right, as you guys can see, the shifter connected to the linkage. I believe it just comes right out. Let me see. It should come right off. There you go. So you guys can see right there. And shink out, linkage is out. Perfect. Perfect. So shifter's in. We just finished putting the 4 bolt 10 mils. Our next job is to reinstall the linkage to the shifter itself, as you can see that underneath, and let's do that. I just finished driving the car with the quick shifter, right? The modified FRS quick shifter, and so I understand why you're supposed to make it straight, but at the same time I understand why you're supposed to make it curved. Like the OEM is curved. So right now it is in second gear, right? Now I'm gonna show you guys what's in neutral, like how it looks in neutral. That's neutral. So as you can see here, it's gonna be an issue. Why? Because since it's straight up, right, the whole rod is straight, and OEM, there's a curve to it for this exact reason. That's fifth. Let me put the clutch in. That's fifth. It's hitting the center console, right? That's 6. It's hitting the e-brake and the center console. So my future plan with this is to cut it again and try to give it like a slight curve to it, so that when it does sit straight up, it sits right in the middle in neutral, right? So that when I do hit fifth, this will be fifth, and it would not obviously be cutting and, you know, hitting the center console. So the best way to do this with this shifter is grabbing heat and just making the curve as straight as possible, if that makes sense, but it still has a curve to it, so that you don't run into the same issue that I'm running into. Me, it doesn't really bother me. I'll just buy this brand new shift boot, so you wouldn't even really notice it that much. But in the future I will be fixing that. But that's just some tips from me to you. Other than that, it was a very simple process on installing the shifter. I thought it was gonna be harder, but it was very easy. Yeah. All right, this is first gear, second, third, fourth. I don't think fourth is entering, right? There you go, fourth, fifth, and 6. And of course this is reverse. Car has very, very long throws, stock. So as you guys can see here, these are the throws with the new shifter. It's pretty short, as you guys can see here. A lot shorter than stock, I'll tell you that. That's fifth and 6. That will be it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. I basically gave you guys a rundown on how to do the shifter, you know, replacement, or if you want to upgrade, do a quick shifter from my FRS. It did cost me 82 bucks, so that's pretty cheap. There's a lot to do with modifying in my opinion, because I'm the type of person I just like to buy and install. So again, either put heat and kind of bend it slowly, because that little piece of metal is pretty weak. It actually broke on me yesterday just trying to just bend it without the heat. So the heat should kind of like give it like a rubber effect, you know, should bend without breaking. But if you do weld it with a slight curve. Okay, so this FRS shifter has a very big curve, right? Cut it off and kind of weld it, not 100% straight, but give it a slight curve so that when it does go into neutral, it sits pretty straight up and you won't have any issues. I think that was my issue. I think I put it too straight and it's just laying to the right side. It does feel a lot like shorter. The quick shifter is doing its job. It does feel a lot shorter. So for 82 bucks, it's a perfect mod if you're down to do the modifying. Because there is a quick shifter for these cars, but it's like $300 something, which in my opinion I don't think is worth it. That's kind of more than a BMW shifter, quick shifter. So yeah, so future mod, I believe we should start getting ready for engine swap soon. I gotta do an oil change, so I will be doing a maintenance do-it-yourself video on that. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. On to the next.